Very good evening to one and all those who are present today for today's SDP on cloud computing and DevOps. I would request all the participants, students, HODs, faculties to gently remind the students of their colleges to join in quickly so that we can start the session fastly. Amar, has all the guest speakers joined in?
Still waiting for two guest speakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would request faculties, HODs from PES Institute of Technology and Management, Maturi Venkata Subbarao Engineering College, and Noble Degree and PG College faculties and HODs to give a gentle reminder to their students to join in quickly so that we would begin the session as early as possible. Dear all participants, let us wait for another 5 more minutes as I see the participants are joining in, and then we will begin today's session. Meanwhile, please inform your friends to join in quickly. Very good evening to one and all those who are present today. So, hearty welcome to all the dignitaries from colleges, faculties, HODs, principals, and dear students who have joined in for the 30-hour student development program on cloud computing and DevOps. So, this is a program which was starting today. Classes will uh, continue for the next 15 days, every day 2 hours from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And you will have regular intimation in terms of the class session link. So before I could hand over the session to the trainer, let me give you a little introduction about ExcelR, who we are and what exactly we do. So to begin with, ExcelR was founded in 2013 by IIM ISB alumni. We have our world headquarters in Houston, USA. Close to 7,50,000 plus students have been trained so far in various category of programs. We have our total 8 branches in 5 cities, and we not only train the students, but also we do a lot of faculty development program, corporate training, and internships, projects, and various other training programs. We have a strong connect with our premium association, like in iHub Divya Sampark, APSSDC, APSHE, Telangana, TAS, KMDC, IIT Madras, IIT Roorkee, Birla Institute of Technology and Science, and we have largely got our courses validated from NASCOM, and we are in, that is, students from various colleges are attending our emerging technologies, close to 18 plus courses, and they are being, well, that is assessed. The NASCOM, IT, they undergo a proctor test, after which the students are being given with a NASCOM certificate. For our excellence in the market, we have been awarded twice by Deloitte, Silicon India, PM, for our other set of training programs by various uh, institutes and organizations. Having a decade of training excellence and training the faculty development program, where we have covered close to 65,000 engineering and degree faculties, 750,000 plus students under the student development program, continuously conducting webinars, seminar, workshops at degree and engineering colleges, so far 500 plus, on all the top emerging technology training programs like AI/ML, cybersecurity, data science, machine learning, and various other courses. And we have a strong placement partner of 5,000 plus. And through our EDL, Everyday Learning Program, in conducting the student development program and faculty development program, we have closely collaborated with close to 2,000 plus academy partners. So this is our biggest strength, and we are catering to the requirements of colleges in various forms. So the very one which you are attending is under the Everyday Learning Program, which is the vision of ExcelR to provide application and industry-oriented learning on various trending technologies for students and faculties on a month-on-month, where every month there will be 2 student development programs and faculty development program, which will be done on an application-oriented platform with hands-on training, which is purely online with live instructor led. And post completion of this 15 days of student development program or 5 days of faculty development program, the participants are awarded with a certificate. This is another benefit for which they are holding it strong in terms of their completion. And while they are taking up this journey, they have a lot of assessment. This is completely through the learning management system portal, and they are not only attend the training session, but we monitor their performance through the assessment, assignments, and all, and they're being awarded with a certificate. So the best part of uh, under the EDL offering is colleges are collaborated in signing an MOU. Largely, webinars are conducted. Industry FDPs are done regularly, and all our sessions are through the learning management system. So the students or the participants who have joined in for today's session will also undergo a LMS training, which will be done in, that is once after my talk. So this is a screenshot of our LMS portal, how this will look like. So the best part of the LMS is not that the only session of student development program which you will be attending today, you will be able to access. You will be able to access much more than that. Like, and if you see, there will be multiple training programs ongoing and something which is already being completed, and the learner can explore those and take the benefit out of it. So this is the add-on benefit by learning at our end. So far, we have conducted 47 plus SDPs, where close to 7,50,000 students have enrolled for this SDP. and close to 1,600 plus colleges have consistently participated in the SDPs. And the most popular programs which we have designed and continuously been provided for the students are on these platforms: ChatGPT, Advanced Excel, DSA for campus placements, Python, SQL, ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, mobile app, tracking coding, full stack development, and various others. So similarly, on the same grounds, FDP, which will every month we conduct an faculty development program, and so far we have conducted 40 plus. Enrollment for the faculty development program are close to 65,000 plus, and actively participating colleges are 1,519. So the most prominent or the consistently popular programs under the faculty development program are AI, Gen AI, machine learning and artificial intelligence, deep learning, artificial intelligence, digital marketing, data analytics using data analytics using Power BI and Tableau, NLP, ChatGPT, and various other. Not only these, there are much more programs under the faculty development program. These are of on-demand faculty development programs which are being continuously done. And this is an update on our seminars and webinars, close to 500 plus webinars conducted among the degree and engineering colleges, and 50,000 plus participants have attended these webinars. A student who enrolls for a student development program will be issued with a SDP certificate, which is given to the left. And a faculty who undergoes the training on the faculty development program will be issued with the certificate, which is right in front of you. So these are the sample certificates for your understanding that post completion of this program, again, you will also be issued with similar kind of certificates. Whereas if you are undergoing training programs under our platform, wherein you are choosing NASCOM related or other category programs, you will be given an additional certificate from NASCOM. So this is purely for student development program. Only these certificates will be issued. So these are some of our posters on which we have recently conducted our faculty development program, and some of our student development program which we have conducted. And these are some of the prestigious certificates which we have issued to our students on various training programs. And our recent engagements at IIT Roorkee, where we had trained faculties and research scholars at IIT Roorkee on data analytics using Minitab. This is one of a student initiative where students from BITS Pilani underwent a training on Power BI training, and this also was a huge success, wherein a complete initiative from students were recognized. So as we had continuously approached colleges and discussed with the faculties, constantly we observed and we found something that the students were lacking in were in some of the skills. So as a CSR initiative, we came up with a plan of a 5-subject module in delivering the final year students in providing them with the placement assistance through the Skill Up final year program, which was a huge success, wherein we curated this model in accordance with the college faculties, students, keeping in mind, and that was a 240 hours of campus recruitment training on coding skills, quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, verbal ability, soft skills, tips and techniques to ace the group discussion and resume building. This was in a joint venture through iHub Divya Sampark, and the students registered for this program was 50,000 plus. However, since, as I told you, through the LMS platform, the students had to be regular in attending the classes, and their attendance will be tracked. A lot of assessments and assignments were given in the LMS platform, and they had to complete those modules also on time. So on completion, only there were close to 5,200 plus students were awarded with this prestigious certificate from iHub Divya Sampark, which was a joint body of IIT Roorkee and Government of India, Department of Science and Technology. Now, for those who are joining in later or now who are participating in this SDP also will have the privilege to view the recorded modules of the campus recruitment training, but not the certificate. The certificate will be issued only for the participant who had participated long time back. And these are some of our screenshots that is during the campus recruitment training where we had close to 10,000 plus registrations only coming from APSSDC, that is through Andhra Pradesh, from Andhra Pradesh in and around colleges. These are some of our recent engagements on the student development program and faculty development program and the upcoming training programs, which in April, and as well, we will be very soon sharing with you the May month calendar too. So without much further ado, let me before I could hand over the session to the trainer, let me introduce you all to our dignitaries for today's session. So I have Dr. Pramod, Head of the Department, PS Institute of Technology and Management. He, with 22 years of experience, having a PhD in cloud computing and achieved published 2 patents, co-authored programming with Python 25 plus journals, outstanding faculty mentor awardee, and he is a guide and reviewer. He is a lifetime member of ISTE, CSI, IAENG, IFERP. A hearty welcome to you, sir. It's a very delightful event for us to have you getting participated in this event, sir. Sir, your voice is not clear, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. On behalf of Dr. Pramod, sir. So myself is Harshyam. So I'm a co-faculty member from the Department of CSD, Computer Science and Design.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you can.
I'm audible, ma'am.
Yes, sir. There's a lag in your talk, but still we are able to hear you.
Actually, network is not much stable, ma'am. So
I understand, sir.
I'm in a remote place. That's
All
why.
right, sir. No problem.
You can continue, ma'am.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much, sir,
Yes.
to take the pride in on behalf of Dr. Pramod, sir, and speaking a few words. Hari, sir, thank you so much. Let me move on to the next dignitary for today's event, K. Chandrasekhar, Assistant Professor, Mathuri Venkata Subbarao, Engineering College, Hyderabad, who has 13 years of teaching, currently Assistant Professor, Department of IT, MBSR Engineering College, who is a life member of CSI and ISTE. His leadership roles on he is a SPOC for Smart India Hackathon, 2K19 and 2K20, guided R&D funded projects and served as an evaluator. A hearty welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Yeah, thanks for arranging this everyday learning program based on the concepts, the cloud computing and DevOps. So these are the two trending technologies now in viewpoint of designing and developing their mini project works or main project works, summer internship work, as well as career point of view. They can choose this as one of the best option to build their career. And coming to our I mean, many of the autonomous campuses, they have a flexibility to include the trending subjects like DevOps, cloud computing and all. And sometimes due to some constraints, sometimes we will keep lab sessions, but we are not placing theoretical, or sometimes we will place only theoretical. We are not able to accommodate the practical part, but by arranging these kind of student development programs, so we will fill that gap and students will get benefit of this, madam. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind words, sir. So let me move on to the next dignitary for today's event, Mrs. D. Sharda Jyotsna, Head of the Department, Mobile Degree and PG College, Telangana. She is a senior faculty leader having 32 years of experience and actively coordinates student developments, seminar, workshop, cultural event, placement. She is one of the oldest the institution seems to be one of the oldest colleges in the Twin Cities, founded by renowned educationist Mr. R. Rajeshwar Reddy Garu through the Noble Group of Institution. A warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Good evening, Nitya. My name is Virenchi Kaushik. I'm here on behalf of Noble Degree College representing Mrs. D. Sarda Josna ma'am. So, so to give a brief about our college, our Honorable Chairman, Sri Rajeshwar Reddy Garu, through Noble believes in providing a quality and holistic education through combination of experienced faculty, innovative programs, and coursework collaboration in providing research and development opportunities on campus. So it was really great in collaborating with ExcelR. So you guys are really doing great with respect to the everyday learning course that is especially with respect to cloud technology and DevOps, cloud computing and DevOps. So this particular course will definitely provide intense knowledge and experience to the next upcoming batches or upcoming students in developing cloud-based applications. So in our college, we do provide multiple courses. We offer multiple courses like BSc, BCom, BBA in artificial intelligence, machine learning, data sciences. So this course will definitely help them in excelling their work across other in their job opportunities and other future endeavors they perform. This is a very leading technology, especially with respect to Salesforce and cloud-based Tally and other things that we teach in our organization. So this is really a great course. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Nitya.
Mr. Virenchi. Thank you so much. So let me hand over the session today to Mr. Mabu Murali Mohan, Senior DevOps Engineer and Corporate Trainer, with 9+ years of experience in cloud solution, AWS, CI, CD, pipeline, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, and Civil. He has a training expertise in designs, infrastructure, develops curriculum, manages end-to-end training operations, and collaborates with top trainers and agencies. His key achievements are delivered 5 software projects and corporate trainings for major clients like Oracle, Capgemini, Shell, Publicis, Sapient, and others. So, a hearty welcome to you, Mr. Murli.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You can share a few words about yourself and then hand over the session to our LMS expert, Mr. Amar.
Yeah. Yeah, hi guys. I hope everyone doing great. I see that different college HODs and faculty and the students, you guys joined and choose this particular the cloud and DevOps is option. It's very good because as someone is mentioned about like the moment when you're trying to develop the applications like mini projects or major projects, we just you guys need understanding about like how we can deploy the applications in the cloud, and also you should understanding about like how we can able to setting up the pipeline, and also we should understand about like how we can able to deploy the applications. That's a very important point where it is playing very crucial role. You just think about the nowadays the 36 you are going to get the more revenue generations, and also we have the more demanded skills in the market for DevOps, right? So myself, I'm a founder of Client Technologies, where we are actually managing the cloud and DevOps, DevSecOps, SRE, and MLOps, and also we do AI development, and we'll train the AI models, and also we'll deploy, and we can able to manage the models. That's what basically that we are going to understanding about like how we can able to do that. That's what exactly we do in our organizations. Maybe this 15 days of course, it is going to help you a lot, and where we are planned and we prepared for to provide the knowledge on the cloud and DevOps side. This is a purely practical approach. You'll understanding about like how we can do it. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll hand over to Amar now.
Thank you very much, Murli. So let me hand over the session to our my team member, Mr. Amar, from the Training Delivery Management Department, and he will be providing you the KT on the LMS. Amar, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Once again, very good evening. So, dear student, faculty members, so most of the students are here. So, dear students, let's start interacting. If you're able to hear me clearly, if my voice is loud and clear, I'm expecting good evening messages from each one of you. Super. Thank you, Shruti. Zoom YouTube participants, I am watching to both of you. So please interact. Super. Any old batch participants? They know how to interact, right? Yes, super. Okay, great. So, dear student, let's start with the LMS-KT. So, I will just take a 10 minutes of your time and then we'll start with the actual session. But most important thing, whatever the questions you're asking about the attendance, about the links, about the certification, I will clear each and everything. Okay? So please make sure that you are going to hear me properly and you are not going to miss on any part. Okay? And additionally, so whatever I am going to explain you in the LMS, okay? So that will be available with you for 365 days. And additionally, you will get everything over the LMS. Okay? So not required. See, my voice is not repeating for sure because I'm joined properly. So I am just going through your message. You send this message 2 times. So just rejoin once from your end. That will be solved. Okay. So let's start. So LMS is nothing but a learning management system. And by using the LMS, we are going to provide you the first and most important thing, recordings of the session. Okay. Additionally, you are able to join the session from LMS. You will be getting the material, you will be getting the agenda, and the most important thing which you are asking me for, so certificates or attendance. Yes, you will find the attendance as well over the LMS. Okay, so now how to access that? That is the important part, right? So guys, you need to open the first email. So whenever we are going to give you the LMS access, at that time, few of you already registered for this program and few of you are still into the process of registration because I shared the registration link into the YouTube and Zoom as well. Okay. So those who registered till today, 11 o'clock, we're given the access to all of you. You can check your email inbox. If you're not able to find, check into the spam folder as well. Okay. So we will find 1 or 2 mails. If you are not registered, I will share the link once again in the chat box over the Zoom and YouTube. Please make sure that you are going to register. Why? To get the LMS access, registration is important. Without registration, you will not get the LMS access. Right? And hardly for the registration, it will take 30 seconds of time. And you're not required to pay anything for it. Right? So I will share the link once after my KT, so you guys can register. So the first email which you need to open, which you need to check on your mailbox, that is a verification mail. And by using this mail, we are going to verify our account. Okay, so you can check here verification link. I'm clicking on that. Once I click on that link here, I need to set my password. So dear students, coming to the password, this will be a completely new password. We're not required to share the password of any account. This will be the completely new password, and same password you can type it here and click on set my password. This is the very first step towards to accessing the LMS. Okay, once you are done with this step, open the second mail. Okay, second email is nothing but a course invitation mail. Okay, so you can check with the subject, welcome to the SDP on cloud computing and DevOps, right? And in this mail, we provided a links. You can check here, in the step-wise, we provided you the process, what you need to follow towards to accessing the LMS, right? So in the first step itself, we provided the URL. Okay, so let's have some interaction again. Guys, what is the form of the URL? Okay, let's check who will answer first. URL. Okay, great. Superb. Let me check. Yeah, so Bhatula Shivapavati, thank you so much for giving the answer. You are the first uniform resource locator. Absolutely right. So, dear student, I believe that most of you know what is the use of URL, and now as students are posting into the chat box, if before this you don't know what is that, now you will get to know, right? So every web application will be having a URL. So for example, on a daily basis, you're using some web applications, right? So be like, if you're using Instagram over the web, then Instagram.com. Or you're using the WhatsApp over the web, then web.whatsapp.com, right? You will use the Naukri as well, Naukri.com. Yes, sir, we'll use the Naukri.com, we'll use the LinkedIn.com, LinkedIn.in, right? We want to have a job as well, right? So guys, whenever you are using the Instagram and WhatsApp, no problem, but let's use the Naukri.com, LinkedIn, and try to interact there, okay? So let's come back to the part. So our LMS URL is onlinelearning.excelr.com. Why I'm stressing on that? Not required to open the mail every day. You can bookmark this URL to your browser, whatever the browser you are using, and easily you can access the LMS, save your password to the Google. Yes. So I'm clicking on this URL. Here, once I click on this URL, you can check, you will find that in the search box. After that, you will be able to see the three options: sign in, store, registered. So you are already registered member, so not required to do a registration. The use of the store, I will explain you once I'm going to sign in successfully. So now let's proceed with the sign. So once I click on the sign in, here I need to provide my credentials. What credentials? Yes, so coming to the credentials, a registered email ID you need to provide. Okay, a registered mail ID and the password. Which password? Yes, absolutely. The password which we have set into the first email, where I mentioned that this is the very first steps towards to accessing the LMS. Yes, we set the password there. Yes, the same password you need to use here and click on to the login. Till here, all clear? Can I have a confirmation? Yes, no, quick. Yes, super. So, like on a WhatsApp, has to chat quickly. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening, good evening. Hi, hello, right? Likewise, chat box need to be run. Yes, great. So now, just imagine I provided my credentials. What next, right? So let me reshare my screen. And once I provide my credentials, I will come here on the ExcelR LMS web application, right? And you are able to see there are a couple of options: dashboard, classroom, assessment, store, calendar, news, blog. Okay. And on a dashboard, you are able to see classroom, then some banners, session, assessment, and all these things, right? So dashboard is nothing but an overview. So as usual, I will give the example. Dashboard is nothing but an overview of the entire LMS. Like, however, our movies, great example. Everybody loves movies, right? So every movie will be having the teaser or trailer. In that, we'll get to know that, okay, what I'm going to get, right? What I'm going to enjoy, right? So on the dashboard, you will get the overall summary of the LMS. Shubham Jaina over the YouTube. Please wait for some time. Not required to copy paste same message again and again. I will answer you. Okay. So please, it's my humble request. So please wait for some time. Okay. So here, once we provide our credentials, the first thing what we need to check, how we'll able to join the session. All right. So you can check here in today's session tab. You are able to see some conducted. Then join. Yes. Okay. Let's check here. Okay. So as I'm a member of ExcelR, I'm able to see that much classrooms and that much schedules in today's session tab. But our focus is on what? Cloud computing and DevOps. You can check here. We have option to join, right? So on a daily basis, sharp at 6:50, you will find the join button. You just need to click on join and it will take you to the Zoom. Easy. Yes, very simple. Just need to click and it will take you through the Zoom. You need to attend the session and learn. Simple, right? So now there are few of my friends are watching the session on YouTube as well. Okay, so most of you receive a link to join the session via email today, but from tomorrow onwards, no one is going to get the link via mail. Okay, so you need to join via LMS. Okay, so make sure that we are setting up all this account today itself. And from tomorrow onwards, 7 to 9 only learning. No any another disturbance. Okay. So about today's session tab, you can check here. Again, you will find this banner, Cloud Computing and DevOps for 30 hours. Let me click on that. So once I click on that banner, it will take me through the YouTube and whatever is happening over the Zoom, same time it's reflecting over the YouTube as well. Our host and our co-host will be checking all these chats from here. So as Shubham is posting the messages, I'm able to see that from the back end, right? So if you're going to have any query or question, you can drop here. If any application links or any another link or any registration link needs to be shared, yes, definitely we share. You can check previously we shared the registration link. It's here. Okay. All right. So you will find there. See, add on to that, if you're not able to see this chat box, so what you can do, below the subscribe panel, you are able to see this live chat. Click on open panel. And once you click on open panel, you will get that. Okay. So we'll be sharing the link here. Sometime what is to happen, you will watch the video. After that, once we share the link, you will say that, sir, I not receive, sir, I not receive. I was there in the session. All right. So keep chat box open and few of you will be sharing the not required message in the chat box. So please don't do that. It will disturb others, those who are really here to learn. Okay. Make sure that we are just need to share the required information. If you are having query or question, you can post here. One more thing, see, sometimes if you are in hurry, so are not required to go and ask to someone to share me the link. I not receive. I want to attend the session. Now it's already 7:05. I missed on the 5 minutes. Yes, right. So you can subscribe ExcelR channel and click on the bell icon. Okay, here you will get all the notification. Once session start, you will get the notification. Okay, and after the class, see, every day no one is going to say, hey, like the session, he like the session. It's our responsibilities to like the session after completion of the day. Okay, so let's go back into the LMS. Sir, you said that you will be able to join the session from the LMS using Zoom and YouTube platform. What about the recording? What about the attendance? Where will get that? Yes. So now let's open the classroom. In the classroom, you can check that SDP on cloud computing and DevOps. You will find here, or else you will find here in the classroom, SDP on cloud computing and DevOps. I'm clicking on that. First of all, I will show you the Meet tab. Okay. So in the Meet tab, you will get to know that, okay, so 28th, 29th, 30th. For this month, I have 3 sessions. Let me go into the month of May. Okay, so total this program is going to run for 15 days, 30 hours, Monday to Friday. Okay, first I think it's having holidays, so session is not reflecting there. Then second, fifth, so you can check here, 19th will be our last day, and it will be going to wind up with the MCQ test of 50 marks, 50 MCQ test. Okay, so now let's go back into the curriculum and check what things are available there. So feedback and response, submit your attendance here. So ladies and gentlemen, listen me carefully. To get the certificate of participation, yeah, I believe that first and most important thing, we need to have a knowledge. Okay, if you are going to have the knowledge, then definitely we can showcase the certificate. Yes, sir, I completed the course from ExcelR. This is the proof, and you can ask me anything regarding to that. Yes, I'm ready to answer that, right? So attendance and feedback submission is also important to get the certificate of participation. And there is one criteria. What is that? 60% attendance is mandatory to get the certificate of participation. I'm just repeating one more time for all of you. 60%, minimum 60% attendance is required to get the certificate of participation from ExcelR, and you will get that certificate after completion of this program within 8 to 15 working days via registered mail ID. Clear? Now, few of you already message me, one or two of me already mail me, sir attendance fill करने के लिए नहीं आ रहा है, close दिखा रहा है. अच्छा, before starting the session only you want to fill the attendance, right? No, it's not possible. So you can check here. Link will be active in between 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Okay, so this link will be only active for 1 hour, and the timing is 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Now, I know what is our next question. Okay, what is your next question? Sir, I not registered. Sir, I just joined the session. Sir, how to fill today's attendance? From tomorrow, I will fill the attendance from the LMS. No need to worry. Okay, we'll be sharing the attendance link in the Zoom and YouTube chat as well, but sharp at 8:30. Don't start messaging from 8:10. Sir, attendance, sir, attendance, sir, attendance. It will create irritations. Okay, and it will disturb the class. So no need to worry. You can just focus on the learning. 8:30 you will get the attendance. Just need to take the 20 seconds, fill the attendance. It's marking your attendance. Share the valuable feedback about the session. 20 to 30 seconds. Clear about the attendance and feedback? Yes, I believe that it's clear. Before that, you will find the agenda. Okay, so in these 15 days, what I will get to learn? So you can just find here all the topics are mentioned here. Then below that, you will find the session recordings. Okay, so as day one it's going live, so you will find as it's live, it's happening. But once day one completes, you will find the recording will be there. And whatever the material Moodle sir is going to use for next 15 days, each and every file will be available here for reading purpose or for reference purpose. Clear? And as I promised, I will explain about the store once I log in. So let me go into the store. So as Nitama mentioned, you have opportunity to learn many more things over the LMS with this current course. So you can definitely go through the store. There are some courses free and paid. You can just go through that and definitely you can enroll and learn. Okay. So that's all from my end about the LMS. I believe, I'm pretty sure that most of things are cleared. If not, it will take 2-3 minutes to clear the questions. So if any questions regarding to the LMS, not regarding to the DevOps or AWS, right? So Murli sir, you can ask to the Murli sir regarding to the LMS, whatever the query or question you have, ask me. If not, I will be more than happy to see that, yes, it's clear, sir. Is this paid course, sir? No. It's free of cost. Nice information. Thank you, Nanishwar, sir. Assignments, there will be no any assignment. Only assessment will be there. MCQ assessment on last day. Yes. Yes, it's clear like crystal. Yeah. Super. If we miss any day, can we see the recorded lecture and learn? Yes, definitely you can see that. But see, try to attend the live session. Again, you will miss on attendance. You will come back to us. Sir, my attendance is 50%. Then we'll say you are not eligible for certificate, right? 1 and 2 day, we can consider that. But try to attend all the sessions live itself. You are welcome, Mansi. Okay, so let me check some comment over the YouTube. I have registered, but I haven't received any confirmation mail, and my dashboard is also empty in LMS. Shubham, so you will be receiving that. I am not sure when you are registered. If you are registered with the wrong mail ID, in that scenario, there are chances to delete that mail automatically. Okay, if there is any mistake, spell mistake in your email, if you register just today itself, then you will get that LMS access tomorrow, and it will be reflecting over your LMS. The dashboard is empty. Abhijit Patil, so guys, I know that you are following me. You just do the login, you're not registered, that's why it's showing the empty, right? For that, you guys need to do a registration. I'm going to share the registration link once again, so please register. Don't just do a login. What I said, to get the LMS access, you guys need to be registered. Ritika, I explained that, and now it will be very problematic to explain that once again. No problem, I will give you the context here into the chat box. How to download the certificate? Certificate will be not required to download from the LMS, you will be getting over the mail. No, Lakshman, so it's only open for live sessions. Okay, I think most of things are clear. So let's start with the actual session, whatever the queries or question you guys are having. So you can keep posting me into the chat box. We'll work on that and we'll solve your queries. Okay. Only one assessment last day. Okay. So thank you so much, all of you, for listening me. Happy learning with ExcelR. So I am always Murli sir, are you there?
Yes, Amar, I'm
Yeah,
here.
over to you, sir. You can take it forward. Thank you.
Hey, hi guys. Good evening, everyone. Is it my voice is clear? Could you please confirm in the chat once again? See, I can see there are 531 students are there. If I say, can I get response, means at the time I should expect the 100 responses. It's going like, one by one. Right. Yes. Fine. Yeah. I can understand that you guys are able to hear me. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for your confirmation. Yep. Let me share my screen. I'll set the what is the today's context and what we're going to discussing about like today. You'll understand. I'm just trying to share my screen now. Let me know whether you guys can able to see my screen. Yeah, guys, thank you very much. Yeah, that's fine. Great. See, today we're going to discussing about like what is DevOps completely. We'll see about like what is DevOps and why DevOps is required. What are the different tools that we have in DevOps? That's what basically the first we'll be covering about in today's session. The first we should understanding about like what is DevOps. If you feel that I'm just going faster, please let me know. And also we'll discussing about like why DevOps is required. And also we'll be discussing about like there are different DevOps tools that is also will be discussing about it. And after that, what we can do that, I'm just trying to explaining about each and every tool. So before I start my session, I would like to ask a couple of questions here. See, how many guys are hearing this word DevOps for the first time? Can you please raise your hands? It might be you have the option to raise your hands. Yeah, I can see that the couple of the hands are raising that they're saying about don't know about like DevOps. Okay, that's fine. How many guys are watching IPL now alongside with this session? Is there someone watching this IPL match today? See, but there is a relation, guys. See, today there is a Gujarat versus RR is playing, right? So we just need to understanding about like why I'm just talking about all these things, right? See, for example, if you just go to Geo Hotstar, you see that there are 15 CR people or 20 CR people are there trying to watch this particular, what we can say about like match. But you see that every second, or we can see about like every minute, there are some lakhs of customers. There are, some crores of customers are trying to watch this particular IPL match. But we never get an application downtime, right? Do you aware about like why it is not getting application downtime? That's a magic, right? See, for example, when the Champions Trophy final, the India versus New Zealand is playing at the time, the highest viewership is 60 crores, right? So how these particular applications are going to manage that much traffic which is coming towards their applications? That's where the magic of this particular DevOps right now. So the fine. I just need to ask the next question here. The next question we should understanding about what is exactly mean by DevOps? Is there someone knows about like DevOps? Can I get some response in the chat box? I can see some of the responses it's saying about like DevOps set of practices that integrates software development, sort of software practice. There are different responses which I'm getting in the chat box. See, guys, if I get the responses, I should never be able to read it. That's kind of like, the volume which I'm expecting. It's a combination of development plus operations, dev plus ops. Somebody's talking about it. Development plus operations. Okay. Come on, guys. I just need to get the correct responses. Everybody will tell about like, development plus operations, but I was expecting something different from that, right? Yep. Yeah, that's fine, guys. I can see about like a lot of responses showing about like the basically workflow automation where the software continuous development. Somebody's trying to copy from the Google and sending that message to me. That is also the magic here. Yeah, that's fine. Let me explaining about like what is exactly meant by DevOps first and why DevOps is required. That's what basically we should understanding about right now. So before we understood about like what is DevOps and all, see today we'll be discussing about locally introduction part, but going forward sessions, all the sessions are going to be practical approaches. There is no something it is called theory here because we have to focus more on the hands-on, so that you'll understanding about like how we can able to deploy the application real-time world. So how we can able to manage the all the application that everything that will be understand. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. The first we should understanding about like what is exactly mean by DevOps and why DevOps is required. That's what the basically we should understand. So the background here. See, let's say for example, I'm just client. I'm a client. I have a requirement. The requirement is nothing but like I want to develop something. It is called as a AI agent, which is going to help colleges, which is going to help colleges. So how it is going to help with the colleges? Let's say, for example, there is a requirement. So whenever you are trying to creating AI agent is going to take the YWAS, or AI agent is basically going to take the YWAS, or we can see about like the final lab evaluation, and it is going to validate your answers, and it is going to provide the good marks for you. This is the kind of application that I want to create with the help of the AI agent. See, you may use something it is called as the ASR models, and we can say that we may use something it is called whisper models. See, there are different types of models that we have. See, all the models like whatever that we have, which is going to help you about like how we can able to create this particular agents. Right now, the agent is very clear. So we have to replace the human, and the whatever the human it is going to ask the questions, the same questions going to ask by the AI agent. It is going to provide the it is going to capture the responses. It is going to validate. It is going to provide the marks. It is going to tell you about like whether this particular candidate is going to fail or pass. This is what is the requirement I have, and I wanted to understanding about like how we can able to implement this particular the requirement. See, this is the requirement that we have. We just need to understanding about like how we can able to implement that, right? So whenever you wanted to implement this, first, uh, how the software development team is going to develop this particular application that whatever that we'll be discussing about right now. See, every organizations there should be a flow, or there should be a what we can say about like the process that we have to follow whenever you are trying to developing any kind of applications. See, you may try to developing the AI agents, or you may trying to developing the what we can say about e-commerce applications, or you're trying to developing the e-commerce applications, or you're trying to developing the banking applications, or developing the health softwares, or you're developing the insurances. It could be anything that whatever that you want to develop here. Definitely, we just need something. It is called as a there is a process that should be a follow here. So whenever we're discussing about like first, we should understanding about like how we can able to do that. So whenever you want to develop any kind of applications, there should be a something it is called as a SDLC here. So SDLC is nothing but like the software we can see about like development life cycle. Can I know how many the stages, or we can say about like phases that we have in SDLC? Can I get some responses, please? Yeah, I got some responses in the chat box. They were talking about like requirements gathering, design, development phase, and coding testing. Yeah, I can see that you guys are, very clever. I'm going to get the responses from you all. That's fine, but we should understanding about like what exactly that we are trying to do it right now. Whenever we talk about something, it is called as a SDLC. We should understanding about like why we had to go something. It is called SDLC life cycle. In the SDLC life cycle, the first we should understanding about like the first phase, what we can call the requirements gathering. So what is exactly mean by requirements gathering? How you wanted to understanding about like requirements gathering? See, whenever we talk about requirements gathering, it's very clearly saying that, let's say, for example, I'm a client. So if the client has a requirement, we should talk to the client. We should understanding about like what is his expectations and how you are trying to implement these particular applications. That definitely we should understanding about like what is meant by requirements gathering. So requirements gathering is very, very important. Like where you want to talk to the customer, we should understanding about like what is their expectations. That is the first point that we should understanding about like requirements documentation. Now, where we are going to prepare a documentation is nothing but like SRS documentations. SRS means nothing but like a requirement specification. This is where we are trying to capture the each and requirement, what exactly the client it is going to looking for it. That is the reason we should understanding about like what is exactly meant by requirements gathering. The second point we have to understanding about something it is called design, right? So what is exactly meant by design? How you wanted to implement the design in the application? So designing is very, very important because see, for example, you wanted to construct a house. So before you are going to construct a house, you are just going to looking for the what we can say about like architecture, right? See, architect it is going to tell you about like how much space is going to be occupy how much space it is going to occupy the bedroom, how much space is going to occupy the hall. So depends on, let's for example, you're telling about like I just need the 2 BHK house. Like based on that, is going to give a plan. For example, I have the 1,500 square feet that I have. So we should understanding about like how we can able to design your home. So when you look at the plan, it is exactly looks like once we are going to build the house, this is how it is looks like here. So that's what we should understanding about here. The first we should understanding about like requirements gathering. Then we had to go for something it is called design. So once we are going to design, so design is basically going to talking about like what we can say about like a prototype of the application here. See, before you are going to developing any kind of applications, definitely we should understand about like what exactly we have to do that. See, before you are going to developing any application, we have UI and UX engineers. UI is nothing but like user interface or user experience. These people is basically looking for the what we can say about like responsible for the building the robust, or we can say about like they are trying to creating this particular design of the applications. See, once we are just going to design this particular applications, now what we can do that we have something it is called as a software development team. So depends on which technology that we have to use. Right now, it is very easy to get a code because you have the chat GPT, you have the bold.new, you have the DeepSeek. There are other, we can see about like OpenAI tools that are available in the market, right? So we can able to use this particular OpenAI tools and we can able to use the paid services and we can able to get the things like whatever that we require. So you really don't need to write a code. So once you're just going to provide the correct prompt, you are going to get the completely the code, whatever that we required. So we can able to modify the code and we can able to deploy or we can able to create the application like whatever that we require. That's what exactly we are going to do that right now in the world. But the software development team is very crucial because they're going to start the application code from the scratch. See, for example, if we go for the front end, we can use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or we can able to use any other type of the languages, whatever that we require. That's what we should understanding about like what is meant by software development team. For backend, they may use MySQL. They may use something it is called as a MongoDB. We can see about like there are different types of the technology stack that we can able to use that. That's where we had to understanding about like what is meant by software development. In the software development, for front end, we are going to use different stack. For backend, we're going to use a different stack here. Now, once we are done with this particular software development here, so we had to go for something, it is called testing here. So what is exactly mean by testing? So whenever we talk about the testing here, testing has two purposes here. So what is the two purpose means? First, we should understanding about like whether this particular application is working properly or not, or we are meeting the client requirements or not, and we have to find any bugs. I can say about like we should understanding about like if we have any, we had to find the bugs in the application. That's what we should understanding about like what is exactly mean by testing will do that. See, we have to go for the requirements gathering, then we had to go for the design, and we had to go for the software development, and after that we had to go for testing of these particular applications, right? This is something that we should understanding about like what are the different phases that we have. And after that, once we have done this particular requirements gathering, design, and if we go with the software development and we can go for the testing, this is something that we should understanding about like what are the different the phases that we have, right? So once we have done with the testing, then we had to go with the fifth one. It is nothing but like we had to go for deployment. See, when you're coming for the software IT industry, I don't know how many guys are aware about these things. Anyone aware about like what are the environments that we have in software? For example, you want to deploy the application, where they can deploy the application, how they will deploy the application. Are you guys aware about it? If you are aware about it, can I get some response in the chat box? Yeah, I can see about like you guys are giving the responses. That's right. Are very good. I'm just still waiting for some other responses there. Yeah, I got the couple of responses. They were telling about like client needs to get the details from the client, UML diagrams throughout the Play Store, WWDC, etc. No, guys, these all the answers, whatever that we have, it is wrong here. Someone's Fernand, he was talking about deploy over the production or containers over the cloud like AWS. Okay, okay, that's fine. Okay. Let me explaining about like what exactly that and how we can able to do that. So whenever we talk about something, it is called as deployment. So in the software industry, basically there are four environments that we have. The first we should understanding about like there is a dev environment. The first we should understanding about like there is a dev environment, and we have a test environment, and we have UAT environment, and we can say about like production environment. So these are the four environments that we have, which is basically going to help you understanding about like how we can able to deploy or how we can able to test the applications. See, what is mean by dev environment? So this is whenever I say about like environment is nothing but like a server, which is basically going to understanding about like how we can able to test the minimum functionalities of the test cases or minimum functions of the applications. That's what we should understanding about like what is meant by dev environment, right? Now there is the testing environment, right? First, once we are going to deploy the application inside the testing environment, we should understanding about like how we can able to perform the manual test cases, how we can perform the automation test cases, to understanding about like whether you are going to understand the application working properly or not. That is the reason we should understanding about like what is meant by we can say understanding about like software, we can say about like testing environment. See, we have something it is called as a completely good understanding about like technical things about these particular the features. That's where we have to understanding about like what do you mean by testing environment. So we are going to hire the testers. It would be a manual testers, or we can say about like automation testers who is responsible or who has a capability to write the test cases. That's the reason we are just going for something it is called testing right now. And once we just go to here, we have something it is called deployment, right? So what is exactly meant by deployment here? We can see that we have the dev and we have test and we have the UAT environment and we have the production environment. So if you want, for example, you are just going for the Google and you're trying to hit the www.flipkart.com, right? How we are going to get the response here? So you are going to get the response through what? Through the web browser. But the application is basically working on a backend, right? That is the reason we should understanding about like how the application is working. So the first we should understanding about like where we can deploy the application, how the application is coming for the online, right? The live. That's where we had to go for the production environment here. So once we deploy the application, the production environment, that we are able to access the all application like whatever that we require. That's where we have to understanding about like deployment. Now, if you just look at here, there is something it is called as the maintenance. See, once we deploy the application, whenever you're getting the any what we can say about like whenever you're going to get any problems. So how we can able to manage all the problems? That's where we have to go for something it is called as a maintenance, right? See, maintenance is nothing but like we have to understanding about like how the application is working, and also we have to setting something it is called as a monitoring dashboards. What is exactly mean by monitoring dashboards? See, for example, if I'm going to hospitalize, if the doctors would like to monitor my health, we basically we are going to check the oxygen pulse, heartbeat, and also we are going to checking about the what is the condition of this particular patient. By looking at this particular the monitors, we can judge that whether how much time the patient can able to survey, right? That's what basically we should understanding about like what is meant by maintenance, right? Now, this is where we should understanding about like maintenance. You are facing any kind of issues, you're going to call the customer care. The customer care, it is going to solve your problems, or it is going to send to the particular department, and they are going to understand about like how we can able to resolve these particular issues that whatever that we have. This are what we can call it as a like SDLC, right? Now, why I'm just talking about all these things, we'll understanding about like after 10 minutes, we'll understand why I'm just talking about everything here. Now here, so whenever you talk about something, it is called SDLC here. So from where I need to start? Do I need to start from the bottom to top, or I need to start from the top to the bottom? It is absolutely we should understand here. That is where we have to go for something. It is called the methodologies, right? So whenever we talk about something, it is called as a software. We can say about like the methodologies. What is exactly meant by software methodologies and how we are trying to understanding about like software, the methodologies, right? So whenever we talk about something, it is called as a software methodologies. We should understanding about like how we are trying to implementing this particular the software methodologies. In that, there are different types of the models that we have. The first one we should understanding about like waterfall model, and the second one we should understanding about like agile methodology. And we have other methodologies also there in the market. We have lean model, the wheel model. So can I get some names of the methodologies? Because you might study the subject called as a software engineering, right? In that you can see about like all these methodologies. So can I get some responses? What are the different methodologies that we have? Yeah, I'm just getting some response in the chat box. Let's see that. Prototype model, unified model, spiral model, Scrum model, incremental model, Vivian model. Yeah, that's correct. You guys are the correct. But here we are most of the times in the software industry, when you're coming for IT industry, we are going to something it is called as a waterfall model. Along with that, we are going to something it is called as the agile methodologies. So what is exactly meant by waterfall model? Can I get what is waterfall model? I want to understand what is waterfall model, and also you guys to explain to me like what are the disadvantages in the waterfall model. Yeah, make it fast. Yeah, I got less responses. I don't know what is the reason. It's like takes a lot of time because after completion of level, waterfall it is also called as a process of developing software. Waterfall model is short time development. How to change after creating software. Also, which require development in software. Yeah. So let me explaining about like what is the disadvantages that we have. So whenever we talk about something, it is called it as the waterfall methodology here. So whenever we talk about something, it is called waterfall methodology. It is nothing but linear sequential model. So what do you mean by linear sequential model here? So whenever we talk about something, it is called linear sequential model, which is basically going to understanding about like step-by-step process. That means first it is goes for requirements gathering. After that, it is goes for design. After that, it is going for software development. After that, we are just going for testing. After that, it is going for deployment. After that, it is going for what we can say about like maintenance, right? This is something that we should understanding about like what do you mean by step-by-step process. So here we should understanding about like how we wanted to understanding about like the step-by-step process. The first we had to go with the requirements gathering. The second we had to go for the design. Third we had to go for software development, and the fourth we had to go for the testing, and the fifth we had to go for deployment. Right. So here the first we should understanding about like what is the disadvantages that we have. The first one we should understanding about like there is a dependency. What do you mean by dependency here? The first designing team is depending on the requirements gathering team, and we can see software development team is depending on the designing team, and the testing team is depending on the software development team. Deployment team is depending on testing team lead. That means it is going to follow the step-by-step process. Once we done with the one step, then only we can go for the other step here. That's what basically we should understanding about like what are the different the steps that we have right now. The first we had to go for requirements gathering, then we had to go for design, then we had to go for software development meet. So all these things that we should understanding about like how we can able to follow the step-by-step process right now. So whenever we talk about something, it is called as the advantages, or we should understanding about like what is meant by disadvantages. The first one we should understanding about like dependency, right? The second point we should understanding about like it is not suitable for the larger applications. It is suitable for the only what we can say about like a short period of applications. That's what we should understanding about like what is the disadvantages. Let's for example, you have the 602 microservices that we have. For example, you guys are aware about the something it is called as a Flipkart application, right? So Flipkart has 602 microservices it has. So, but doesn't suit for the larger applications. So it is only suit for the short period of applications, not for the larger scale applications. We can see that it is nothing but long development life cycle. Even the customer don't know about like what exactly happening inside the applications. That's what we should understanding about like what is meant by long development life cycle here. See, the waterfall model has long development life cycle, which can lead to delayed and deliver of the product. See, that means my customer don't know about like what is happening in my project. So, for example, I'm just taking for requirements gathering 2 months. For designing, I'll take about another 2 months. For delivering, for we can see about development, I'm taking about 6 months here. So for testing, I'm just taking about 2 here. That's where we should understanding about like what is exactly meant by long development life cycle. That's what we should understanding about right now. But we have to go for the third point, right? That is third point is nothing but like we should understanding about like testing occurs later. So why testing is going to occur later here right now? See, whenever we talk about something, it is called as DLC here. We can see about like in the waterfall model, the testing is going to occur late in the development life cycle. See, by end of the project, your customers coming back and he was telling about like a lot of the changes. For that, again, you have to go back to the redesign. You are going to re-implementation of the product. So everything that we have to do it from the beginning, everything like whatever that we needed, right? That's we should understanding about like what is meant by these options right now. Testing is occurs in the late, which leads to costly to rework, because my software development team has to rework. We had to do complete redesigning. We had to completely go for deployments. Everything has to be do it completely. See, one by one option, right? That's what we had understanding about like what exactly it is and how we can able to do that right now. Okay. So whenever you want to make the changes or you want to add some changes, it is difficult to add some changes inside the SDLC right now. That's what exactly we should understanding about like what exactly we have to understanding about these options here. So this is what exactly the problems that we have. To overcome all the problems, because see, for example, you're going to start a food, we can see about like, for example, I'm just going to start the hotel. If the food is very taste, I'm providing the good quantity for the less price, automatically it is going to increase the business. The same thing we have to understand that. So we have to understand how we can able to provide the quality of the product to the customer to overcome the disadvantages that whatever that we have. So we're going to use or we're going to follow some methodology, what we can call it as a agile methodology. So what is exactly meant by agile? So why you wanted to implement something, it is called as agile. That's what definitely we should understanding about like what do you mean by agile methodology. See, agile is nothing but like continuous improvement, or we can say about like it is a iterative model. So why we are going to do something, it is called iterative model means it's a very important point that we should understanding about like what do you mean by iterative model. So iterative model means until you're going to complete the product, we are just going to use something called sprint here. So what is exactly mean by sprint and how we are trying to implement the sprint? So in agile methodology, there are two things are very popular. The first we should understanding about like what do you mean by sprint, and after that we should understanding about like what is exactly mean by scrum here. So what is exactly sprint? Okay, and what is exactly mean by scrum here? So these two things that we should understanding about like sprint and a scrum. So whenever we talk about something, it is called sprint here. The sprint, it is nothing but like, is a time period. See, we had to break down the application to different microservices. Each and every microservices, it has a time period. See, for example, if we go to something, it is called the Flipkart application. The Flipkart is going to break down into different modules, right? The first we should understanding about like end user module. And after that, we can just look at here, there is something, it is called login module. And we can go for the UI model and go for the cart module. And we can just go for the catalog model. The module, after that, we can just go for the pay, we can say about like orders module. And after that, we have to go for the payment module, and we can go for the order tracking. So we can able to use the different modules to implement for the different, what we can say about like microservices. See, we have different teams that we have. Each and every team, it is going to work on the different modules. So let's say, for example, front-end team is going to develop the front-end module. The back-end team is going to develop in the back-end module. So we are going to setting up the time frame. For example, I wanted to clear or I want to implement this particular, we can see about like after this right now. That's very exactly we should understanding about like what is exactly meant by a sprint here. The sprint, it is nothing but like a time period. How much time that you're taking to complete this particular application. That's fine, everything that's good, right? But we have something, it is called Scrum here. See, we have someone called as Scrum is a framework, guys. We have a Scrum Master, which is going to playing the mediator between this particular, the management and the development team, or we can say, it is trying to conduct in the everyday the Scrum meetings, right? He's trying to giving the heads up like what's going on this particular options and how we are trying to implementing everything right now. Yeah, that's what we should understanding about like here. So whenever we talk about something, it is called as Scrum here. Scrum means Scrum Master is to play a very crucial role, right? That's what we should understanding about like what exactly it is. So whenever we talk about something, it is called as Scrum Master. It is going to bring everyone the same platform to understanding about like what is the difficulties that we are going for inside the application, right? Now looks like everything is very smooth, but why DevOps is required? See, we discussed about like SDLC, we discussed about the methodologies, we discussed about like advantages, disadvantages. Looks like everything is smooth, but we should understanding about like how we can able to implement all these things. That's where we had to understanding about like what is exactly mean by, yeah, we should understanding about like what is exactly mean by DevOps here. See, I'm just going to divide this whole IT industry into two teams. One is what we can call it as a dev team, and another one we can call it as the operations team here. So what is exactly mean by dev team and what is exactly mean by operations team? So what is the responsibilities of a dev team and what is the responsibilities of a ops team, right? That's what we should understanding about like what is exactly meant by dev team, what is exactly meant by ops team here. So whenever we talk about the dev team, first we should understanding about like what is it, this is going to be the focusing about the planning. We can focusing on the designing, and they will focusing about the development, and they'll focusing on the testing here, right? So whenever we talk about something, it is called as the ops team. They're responsible for the infrastructure. And after that, we should understand they're responsible for deployment of the application. They're responsible for the what we can say about like monitoring of the application. They will responsible for taking the backup of data every day. This is what is exactly responsibilities of each and every team. Let's say I was talking about like, there are four environments, like the first is a dev team, dev environment, a test environment, and after that we have to go for the UAT environment, and after that we have to go for the production environment. These are the different environments that we have. So whenever we talk about something, it is called as a dev environment. Let's say I have tested the application in my local machine. It's working fine that moment. After that, I'm just trying to send this application to my operations team. I'm asking them to deploy the application inside the testing environment. Now here the problem is something, it is called as a portability of the application. What do you mean by portability of the application? So whenever we talk about the portability, the application, whatever works in my environment, it may not be work inside the test environment here. Because whenever you want to deploy the application, first we need a platform. For example, you want to run the Java application, we have to install Java, we have to set the Java path. Along with that, we have to install dependencies. So everything that we have to install very understanding about like manner. So the first we had to go for the platform to be installed. After that, we have to install dependencies. After that, we have to install the library files. And after that, we should install something, it is called a source code, right? This is something that we should understanding about like what is the different types of the platforms that we have right now, how we can able to deploy this. Any of the dependencies which is missing right now, you can't able to get the respond to your request, or you can't able to deploy the application right now. That is the reason we should understanding about like what exactly it is and how we can able to go for something. It is called platform dependent, right? Now here we should understanding about like how we can able to achieve this one. Now here, if we just look at here, I'm just going to provide to the operations team. This operation team is just trying to deploy it. They are going to face some issues because the software development team is going to provide the artifact. Along with the artifact, they're going to provide some instructions. So they have to follow all the instructions and they have to deploy the application inside the inside this server here. But they're not able to deploy the application. They're going to contact to something. It is called dev team. So what is exactly meant by dev team and how they are going to working with the dev team? See, dev team is responsible again to understanding about like what is the difficulty challenges, why the application is not working inside the my server here. They'll again perform the retest. That time also it is working very good in their environment, and they're going to blame. Who is going to blame here? The dev team is going to blame the operations team, right? Now, when the dev team is going to blame the operations team, they will tell that it is not happening deployment. There is some issue with from your side, but dev team is telling about like there is some issue with your side. That means there is no proper communication between these two teams. There is no collaboration here. But the operations is not going to be in a smooth manner. So that is the reason we wanted to a bridge between this particular dev team and operations team. We required something, it is called as DevOps here. So it is very easy to understanding about log, but there is a lot of scope for the DevOps. Now, if we go to any application, any organization, that is required four things. The first, we should understanding about like first one, what is exactly mean by a faster delivery. You guys might aware about the Jabto, Blinkit. So why this is very popular, these particular applications? Because they will charge very high amount, but they're going to deliver the products within less time. That is where we should understanding about like faster delivery here. Now we had to go for the second option here. So that when you go for the second option, we should not compromise with the quality, right? That's what we should understanding about like fast delivery, and we had to go for the higher quality. And third one, we had to spend lesser amount of money. That is also one of the factor. And the fourth one, we should understanding about like availability of the application. See, for example, if you would like to access the Flipkart, Amazon, any point of time that we can able to access, right? It doesn't matter about it. That's where we should understanding about like what is exactly meant by availability. I want to provide all the services to my customers 24/7. That's where we should understanding about all these things like fast delivery, higher quality, less amount of money, and we had to go for the availability of the application here. That's what exactly we should understanding about like what are the features that we have. Now, once we are trying to understanding about like what are the features that we have, so we just need to understanding about like how we can able to and where we can able to deploy the applications that whatever that we have right now. That's where if we want to achieve this particular four factors, with the only DevOps, we can able to achieve this one. Now here, what DevOps is mainly is going to resolve the problems what we have. The first one, we have to maintain the uptime of the server 24/7, right? Because, for example, if GeoHotstar is going to live the cricket, if I'm getting every minute, I'm getting 10 lakh requests, I'm able to perform something, it is called as auto scaling. After that, we had to perform the load balancing. And it should have something it is called self-healing. Because if any one services goes down, it has to recreate the same kind of services without human involvement. How we can able to do all these things? That's where we required something it is called as a DevOps here. The first one, when you go for the DevOps, it is going to resolve the issues. The first one, it is going to resolve the issue name, it is called as a communication. The second point, it is going to resolve the issue, nothing but like, collaboration. And the third point, which is going to understanding about like automations, right? This is what basically it is going to resolve the communication, collaboration, and it is going to resolve something it is called as automation here. That's where we should require, why we require something it is called as a DevOps right now. So when say about something it is called automation, how we can able to perform the automation with the DevOps? That's very, very important point that we should understanding about like, what do you mean by automation? Look at my screen. I'm just going to explain about like what are the tools that will be covering in this particular DevOps curriculum and what exactly that you're going to learn from the tomorrow onwards. See, for example, we have a software development team. See, DevOps engineers don't required to do the coding. That's very easy, right? But we had to write some scriptings to perform the automations. You are not doing coding, but you are doing something it is called scripting. That is also a very important point that we should understand here, right? This is nothing but like my software development team. Now the software development team, we should understanding about like how we can able to do that. This is what we should understanding about like software. We can say that nothing but like software development team. So once the software development team that we have, and we are just trying to pushing all the code inside the GitHub repository, right? So what exactly the GitHub repository here? The GitHub is nothing but a repository where exactly you're going to store your code. That's what we should understanding about like what is mean by GitHub or Bitbucket, or we have something it is called GitLab. So all these are what we can call it as a repositories. So where we can able to store your code. Now this is nothing but like my GitHub where I can able to store my code. After that you store your code. Now what we can do that? See, right now all the code is generating by AI. We don't know about like whether code is very secure or not. So how we can able to identify that if the code is secure or not? For that we have to use something it is called as a SonarQube server. So SonarQube server is nothing but like a tool which is going to help you to check the code quality. If you look at my screen, this is nothing but like code quality tool. So if you want to check the code quality, definitely we have to be required something it is called a SonarQube server. So once we checked something it is called the code quality, after that we should understanding about like what is exactly mean by once you check the report you have to send to software development team. See, the moment when the software development team commit the code, we are just trying to get all the code whatever that we needed, and you're trying to understanding about like how we can able to we should understanding about like how we can able to identify the vulnerabilities or code smells. So whatever the bugs that we have in the source code, because whenever you are working as software developer, we have to follow some rules. If we're not going to follow the rules, we should understanding about like how we can able to do that. That's the reason we should require something it is called a SonarQube server. So once we run this particular, we can say about like SonarQube server, we want to run this application inside the containers. So for that, we require something it is called Docker here. So Docker, it is going to resolve some problems. Docker, it is going to provide the portability of the application. And also Docker, it is going to provide the, what we can say about like, provide the portability of the application. And it is going to deploy the application in containers. Containers are very lightweight. It is going to perform the OS illustration technique right now. So once we're building a Docker image, this Docker image we can test wherever you want. You want test in the dev environment, you want test inside the UAT environment, or you want test in the production environment. So wherever you want to test your applications, we can test the application very carefully. That's where we are going to use something it is called Docker here. So once you are just trying to building the application with the Docker, we can see that we are just deploying the application inside the containers. That's where we should understanding about like what is meant by Kubernetes here. See, for example, if we have this 100 containers, how it is going to manage all the 100 containers? what are the applications that you're watching? Geo Hotstar, Flipkart, or we can say about like Amazon website, or if you go to Spotify, or we can take it n number of applications, all applications working on the Kubernetes platform. See, in the industry, there is more demanded for this particular Docker and Kubernetes. So why Docker Kubernetes is very popular? Because it is going to provide the containerization. It is going to manage all the applications. It will tell you about like you just provide the application or manage the application. That's the reason we should require something it is called as a Kubernetes right now. So once we require the Kubernetes, once we deploy the application, next we should understanding about like how the application is working fine. That's where we should understanding about like what is meant by Grafana and what is exactly meant by Prometheus here. So these two tools are very, very important for us. We should understanding about like how we can able to setting up the dashboards and how we want to see about like how the application is performing very well. So if you want to check all these things, definitely we just need to understand about the Grafana and we have to go for something it is called as a Prometheus here. Now we have to perform the automation. So how we can able to perform the automation here? See, for this, we have to use something it is called as Jenkins here. So Jenkins is what we can call the CI/CD tool. CI/CD means the moment when the software development team has pushed the code inside my Jenkins server has to pull that code automatically. It has to perform the continuous integration, continuous testing, continuous delivery, continuous deployment, continuous monitoring, the continuous feedback. So all these things which we had to perform with help of this particular option that we have, nothing but like with help of this particular Jenkins here. That's what we should understanding about like what is exactly mean by Jenkins, right? Now we can just to understand about this option here. Now we have to understand about like what is meant by SonarQube server, which is basically to understanding about like how we can able to check the code quality, right? The moment when the software development team has pushed the code, we should understanding about like how we can able to check the code quality. After that, we should understand how to build the Docker images, how to store the Docker images in the hub.docker.com. You don't need to do that anything manually. Everything it is going to manage with this particular Jenkins automatically. That's the reason we have to understanding about like how we can able to do this particular Docker, how we can able to deploy and how we can able to manage the Kubernetes here. That's where we should understanding about like what is Jenkins, what is Docker, and what is Kubernetes, everything. And also once we are trying to setting up the dashboards, all the dashboards that we can able to manage and we can able to automate with help of this option name, it is called as a Jenkins here. See, the moment you have to trigger the pipeline. So what is exactly meant by pipeline here? The moment when the software development team is trying to push in the code, we just need to understanding about like how we can able to perform the all these things automatically. That's where we should require something it is called as an automation tool here. That's what we should understanding about like what exactly it is automation here, right? Now, that's where we should understand about the what is DevOps tools here. So whenever you want to perform the automation, definitely we should understanding about like how we can able to perform the automation with this all the tools here. So from tomorrow we'll be discussing about like how we can do that. So each and every tool that we have to configure on the platform called as a AWS, or we can able to configure on this particular we can do it configurations on this particular, we can say about like on Azure, or we can deploy the application in the cloud platform. So everything that we can do it on the cloud. That's the reason we should understanding about like what is cloud, AWS or Azure. We can see about like everything that whatever that we needed. So we'll see tomorrow how to create a cloud accounts and how we can able to perform the all these options like whatever that we require. That's where we should understand right now. Okay. So now if you have any questions, ask. I'm going to clarify your doubts. We can raise your hand. I'm just trying to unmute. I'll take up your questions like whatever that we have.
Yeah, so those who want to unmute, they can raise their hand. If we give them the access now, so they will just create the maze. Yeah, Kripa Sharma, you can proceed. I given you the access to lectures.
Sir, can
The
you
real-time example of DevOps. The real-time example of DevOps is GeoHotstar application, or if you go to Flipkart application. See, for example, if you go to Big Billion Days, you see some lakhs of customers are coming towards the application, right? We should understand how to manage the traffic, how to route the traffic, how to keep that application alive 24/7. So, for example, you wanted to fix some error, you can able to fix on the fly. So everything that is going to be performed with help of the DevOps only. So DevOps is all about like automation, collaboration, communication. See, cloud is a platform where we can able to run your applications with help of the DevOps tools. See, for example, you want to deploy the application in AWS, that we can able to automate with help of the DevOps tools. Cloud is completely different and DevOps completely different here. So here we can use AWS, we can use Azure, or we can use GCP. What are the clouds that we require? All the clouds that we can able to use to perform the automation right now.
Sir, what exactly Docker is?
See, for example, you have written one program. The program has to be run in your friend laptop. If she want to run that program, let's for example, you are implemented Java application, okay? Now, if the Java application want to run on your, let's for example, her name is Lavanya. You want to run on the Lavanya system. First, you have to install Java. You have to set Java path. After that, you have to install dependency like Spring Boot. And after that, you require something it is called JUnit. All dependencies you have to install. But if you go with the Docker, you don't require to install any dependencies, because when you're trying to use the Docker here, you are going to creating a Docker images. This Docker image contains your source code, dependencies, which platform you want to run the application, everything which is available inside this particular Docker image. So once you build a Docker image, this Docker image we can able to test wherever you want throughout any platform. That is the reason we are going for Docker here. It is nothing but like, the containerization tool, how we can able to run the applications inside the containers. You getting my point? Yeah, next question. If you want to handle the traffic in the cloud, what are the traffic is coming towards the application? We have to use something, it is called the load balancers. We have application load balancer, network load balancer, which is going to handle the traffic here. Yes, in the upcoming sessions, you are going to learning about each and every tool. That's you're correct. Kubernetes is what we can call as a containerization tool. What are the containers that you are trying to creating with a Docker? If you want to manage all the containers, we require something, it is called as a Kubernetes. It is going to perform the auto scaling. It is going to perform the load balancing. It is going to perform the self-healing. It is a platform independent. We can run the applications wherever you require. You see YouTube application, Google Maps, Gmail, all these applications also working on the Kubernetes platform. CI stands for continuous integration. CD stands for continuous delivery or deployment. Load balancer is not a software tool, guys. It is service which providing by the cloud. Kubernetes doesn't provide the automation in Docker. Kubernetes provide the automations inside the pods. In a cluster, we have a concept called cluster. In a cluster, it is going to manage all the applications there.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, which
Good evening.
Linux is covered in this topic? Linux is necessary, and which cloud we are plan to use, AWS or Azure?
So in this training program, we are going to use AWS.
Okay.
We are not covering the what we can say about, like, we are not covering this particular Linux, but if you want to learn DevOps, Linux is essential.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, what is Jenkins?
So Jenkins is automation tool. See, whatever you are doing manually, without human involvement, we have to perform automation. That means the moment when the software development team push the code, my Jenkins will pull that code. It will send it to the code quality. It will send it to the building a Docker images. It will deploy the application automatically in the Kubernetes platform. So all these things it is going to manage by this particular Jenkins. That's where we are going to use Jenkins as a CI/CD pipeline tool. Yep. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow session. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, sir. So, dear students, I believe that everybody marked the attendance and shared your valuable feedback about the session. If not, I'm resharing the link over the Zoom and YouTube chat box. It's my humble request. Go ahead, take just 1 minute of time and mark your attendance and share your valuable feedback about the session. And within the next 1 or 2 minutes, we'll close for the day. And we'll see you tomorrow sharp at 7 o'clock. Yes. So material will be uploaded over there. Kavanjali over the YouTube, you will get that by tomorrow. Okay, no need to worry. Okay, great. Chalo, thank you so much, all of you, for joining the day one, and we'll see you on day two. So please make sure that everybody is joining on a time. Okay. Till the time, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and happy learning with ExcelR. Bye bye. Good night. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.